Shelly Ray, and I just kind of wanted to take you on a little journey that I've been through personally myself. I am not a doctor, so I'm not giving out medical advice, but this is my own journey. This is what I've done I weighed myself last week. It was 133 pounds, but now I'm down 135 pounds with no surgery. This is just healing my body holistically and through the natural systems in my body with no liposuction, nothing like that. Just changing my patterns in life, my thoughts, my food, everything that I eat, and energetically healing my body, changed my life. So I just want to take you guys on a little journey today and share that with you. I'm going to go over my personal story, our body and our pet's natural healing systems, how to heal energetically and vibrationally, how you guys can take that home with you and integrate it into your lives. And I'll share a few success stories and just some stuff in closing with you that I hope you enjoy. So my weight loss, and this picture of me here, ooh, I'm getting emotional. That is not my child, that is not our daughter, that is my grandchild. So this is me not even at my heaviest. This is about 2000, I would say 12 or 13, Mom, you think?
Probably.
And I guess, you know, you just start going through life, and before you realize it, I seen a picture of myself. It was my dad was passing, and I asked him who that person was in that picture next. I asked my mom who that person was next to my dad, and she said, "Baby, that's you." And to me, that was a moment where I mean, you couldn't see my face. My neck was back to give me a little bit of credit, but that was my aha moment. Like, what am I gonna do? How did this even happen? My doctor told me in 2006 that I would always be on thyroid medicine, Hashimoto's, and probably about 5 medications and always be the big girl the rest of my life. And he made sure I knew that, and I was going to stay stuck on his plan and his life that he wanted to give me for the rest of however long he wanted to do that. But I, at some point, had to make a change and understand that that wasn't what I wanted for my life. So after years and years of, I'm gonna say probably 12 to 15 years of this prescription, that pill, I had 4 miscarriages and a tubal pregnancy that almost cost me my life. And it was just a really hard time for me the whole time I was stuck in that medical system. It was problem after problem. Nothing was getting better for me. And you know, at some point you have to look in the mirror, like, if I'm taking this journey to get better and nothing's ever getting better, where does it stop? Do I stop taking as advice? Yes, at some point you have to stop spinning your wheels and start walking the spiral instead of the circle that you keep walking. So my aha moment was whenever I found that picture of myself with my dad, and that was what really woke me up and made me get moving. And it was, trust me when I tell you, it was a lot of trial and error, because I was so mad at myself. I started doing P90X at 260 pounds. And so the muscle failure and the vomiting and all of that stuff came along with it, but I refused to give up. And then after about 6 months on P90X, I lost 70 pounds so quickly. I didn't tell you guys, I threw out all my medications and started working out, getting healthy, lost 70 pounds in 6 months, and guess what happened? I got pregnant. And our daughter was 18 years old. And so I was like, what happened? What's going on? So me thinking what I need to do and being high risk, guess what I did? I went back to my doctor. Because I'm scared, something's going on, I've had all these problems. Guess what he did? He put me back on my medication. And guess what happened? I had a miscarriage at 20 weeks after going back to my medication. So that for me was the ending point where I'm like, I am completely done. I am just completely done. And I had to start finding herbs, ways to help my thyroid that was not involved with that medical system and on those pills every day that I had to take. That was just not the route in the life I wanted to take, and that was something that just really, really woke me up, and I had to get out of it. So being a dog trainer of 20 years, I learned about our pets' natural systems. And then when I started, I'm like, well, wait a minute, if they have that and it helps them with all of those things, I'm helping all of these dogs. I'm like, do I have those systems? Lo and behold, we all have them, our dogs, and we do. You have an endocannabinoid system in your body that runs through everything, and you also have a chakra system. And if it's just like your breathing, your circulatory system, if it's not running properly, you're in big trouble. But our doctors, unfortunately, I was going to put this page in here for my last speech and I didn't, but I want you guys to write down the Flexner report. And that's what was made about 100 years ago when Carnegie and Rockefeller took all of holistic medicine out of healthcare and started putting in their chemical pills that they could sell. And that's when all of holistic was kind of taken out of all of the textbooks and all of the learning for all of the doctors. And then the medical schools and things of that nature would not be funded by Carnegie and Rockefeller if they went the holistic way. So all of it got up with the chemical pills, the petroleum, and then all of the, and trust me when I tell you, we need emergency medical care. I promise you we do. I'm one, I've had to have it over and over again, but never again in my life will I trust a doctor for my general health again in my life. I can't do it. It cost me too many years of my life being unhappy and unhealthy that I refuse to ever let that happen again. If I need an emergency medical care, of course I will go, but my family and everyone knows, unless I am spewing blood out of an orifice or I am unconscious, do not take me to the hospital. I had food poisoning in 2020 and I was out of town at a work thing and my friends were like, we're taking you to the emergency room. And I'm like, no, do not do that, I promise. But, so let's get on to the fun stuff, you guys. The endocannabinoid in the chakra system, this is what I was just telling you guys. Every one of you have this. You, your mom, your dad, your children, your bird, your horse, your dog, your cat, we all have this system that runs through us. And once you know how it works and how it flows, it is really, really simple to take care of. And it was made that way for a reason, right? So the body's natural endocannabinoid system, this is us. It controls everything from appetite and digestion, pain perception, mood and sleep. Mom, how many years have you been on a THC gummy to sleep? 5 years now?
Probably.
And every night she sleeps like a baby, and when she doesn't have it, guess what? Shelly, I'm out of my gummies. I get a phone call. So, immune function protects brain cells from damage and promotes neurogenesis, and that is new cell growth. And I know a lot of people think, and probably your doctors tell you, that after a certain age, nothing regrows. Everything in our body, we are energetic being, everything keeps regrowing and regrowing and redoing. It's what we are putting in our bodies that are harming and hindering the growth that's trying to go on. And that can be anything from not being grounded. We can get into all that later. And this has to do with your bone health and your cardiovascular health as well. This endocannabinoid system runs through all of that. No, you're fine. Our endocannabinoid system in dogs, they have the same one. They have the 7 main chakras, and then we have 7 main ones and then 122 that are in and around our bodies. And that is us and our pets. So they can all be treated energetically, which is an amazing thing. So our dogs' ECS system is like ours. Everything is made up of CB1 and CB2 receptors, and everything flows through those receptors. The natural compound and those enzymes create and break down those compounds. Let's see. So in dogs, the endocannabinoid system, the brain and the nervous system controls mood, stress, anxiety, behavior, appetite, sleep, their memory, pain perception, and neurological health. Their immune system, it controls inflammation and immune responses. It helps fight injections and modulates allergies. And I want to let you guys know, I'll be open and honest about this. I have a cat at home that is 18 years old that has never been vaccinated and never one trip to the vet. No issues. My cat is never sick. All of our dogs that we've gotten, of course, they come from rescues or breeders, and they've always gotten their first round of shots, and we don't give any after that. It's just something I choose not to do. I choose not to fill my dogs with poison, just like I choose not to keep continuing to fill myself with poison and stuff that doesn't need to be in my body. So the immune system in their dog, it controls inflammation, immune response, helps fight injections, and modulates the allergies. It also regulates digestion, appetite, nausea, and gut inflammation. So it also has to do with your dog's joints and muscles, their skin and coat. It supports their skin health, reduces itching, allergies, and inflammation. And I know a lot of my clients call me because their dogs, have so many allergies, right? they're itchy, they're losing their hair. I get that a lot. And it is from the chemicals, the flea and tick stuff we put right on their back, the shots. I mean, it gives them just so many skin allergies. I've literally seen a dog lose completely all of its hair from his body just rejecting all of that stuff. And I guess that's just for me being in the animal field for 20 plus years too. So things you don't see that stuff every day, but it can get, I mean, well, just like with the medical system, you know, you get in it, you're taking your thyroid, what happens? Your hair starts falling out, your nails, everything gets brittle. Putting those chemicals in your body, it breaks down stuff in your body to where you're not growing your hair right. And a lot of times if you look on the side effects of your chemical pills, it's what you're taking it for. You need it, it causes those things that you're having. A lady came to the table a minute ago and she lost feeling in her arm. She was like, well, I was on this medication. And I was like, actually my mom was on a medication too, and we had to go through the side effects, and I figured out why she was having problems breathing and why she couldn't walk right after she took her hydrocodone. It affects everything. And hydrocodone, all of those, the doctor had on those for so long it caused nerve damage that I had to reverse with tuning forks and Reiki. And then now we just have her on a regimen to keep her from getting those things. And it's breaking away and getting out of having to take those and realizing your body will work better and heal itself without putting foreign stuff in your body all the time. It's kind of a learning process, and it's hard to kind of stomach and learn at first because you don't know how can they keep doing this to us if it's really hurting us that much, but I've lived it and I know I don't know how they can, but it just is. If you want to know any of that, I watched the Pharmaceutical Fraud. It is a movie, and it will give you a lot of information about what is going on in our medical system. And the third leading cause in America is medical malpractice, and from our pills that we're taking. But nothing can be done about it because of those little waivers that we sign every time we get our prescription pills. So it's a big vicious cycle. So in humans, the endocannabinoid system, an imbalance in that can lead to such things as obesity, chronic pain, anxiety, depression, autoimmune problems, and neuro. Thank you. So how can you reset your endocannabinoid system as a human? Various methods: exercising, a healthy diet, no processed foods, eating a lot of fruits, veggies, things that our bodies are supposed to be able to digest. Less alcohol, dark chocolate, that's always a nice one to know that helps something in your body, right? And CBD products are always good with that as well. So your chakra system, who knows about your chakra system? Yay, everybody, okay, almost everybody. This for me was really when my healing went to the next level. Learning about our chakra system in our body controls everything, and I had no idea that was the root of my thyroid problem, was my throat chakra. So our chakra system, like I said earlier, we have 7 main ones and then 122 that extend out and around our bodies. Actually, even the time of day correlates with the chakras. It's been put into, it's just the way the world works. And these, they say, are, I guess they call it your bang zone. If you were doing these things during these times, that's when they are best to do them in. Let's put it that way. So 4 to 6 a.m., dreaming, silence, receiving. 6 to 8 a.m., meditation, prayer, spiritual passion. 8 to 10 a.m., overview, planning, service. 10 to 12 p.m., communication calls, letters. Noon to 2, network sharing, nourishing. 2 to 4 p.m., studying, reading, digesting, calculations. 4 to 6 p.m., errands and exercise. And 6 to 8, we're supposed to be getting back in and replenishing all the energy that we gave to everyone all day. And if you guys are in here, you're probably, I'm just gonna give you a little tip here. You're probably an empath if you're interested in your chakras and you take on other people's energies very quickly and without even knowing it. I had to learn quickly to protect my energies every day. So you'll probably know people come up and they love to tell you their stories. Everything that's going wrong with them, everything that's been going on, what Susan said last week, what Becky did last month, all of that stuff. And so your friend walks away from you feeling great, but how do you feel? Now you feel drugged down, you have all this energy that's not yours that you're carrying around. Where did this come from? You just energetically exchanged a conversation and gave somebody your good energy and they gave you all their bad, negative energy and aura. So it's really, really important if you are an empath and you feel, you can sense energy when you walk into a room, you know people, you can see what they're thinking, know their feelings. I would just, it's just a simple little closing your eyes and asking your higher self, and I say Gus because I don't want to offend anybody, but God and my angels guide me every day. It's whatever you believe in. God, universe, source, that's what I say. So, you know, I just ask them to protect me and fill me with good, loving energy, and, you know, keep my energy to me and let everything go back to everybody that is not made for me. And that's just a good way to intentionally reset and protect yourself every day. And I would say, you know, as an empath, I highly suggest it. So your root chakra is located at the base of your spine. It's right down here. You can see corresponding parts of the body, the spinal column, legs, feet, kidneys, rectum, your immune system, the male reproductive organs, your blood, your bladder. So what function this has to do with your survival instincts, how you feel, do you feel safe, do you feel grounded, do you feel connected to earth, and or do you just feel floaty and not right, you know, not there? I always tell, I bought my mom a grounding mat that changed her life. She sleeps on it. I tell people, go out, get in your grass, a natural body of water, the sand, anything you can do to get those ions directly in your feet. You wouldn't believe the instant relief, and just, it raises your vibration, so you immediately feel different. You really do. The next is going to be your sacral chakra. Corresponding parts of the body for that is your skin, stomach, liver, spleen, gallbladder, kidney, bladder, pancreas, your sex organs, upper intestines, and your middle spine. And the function of this is developing our relationships, how we roll and move through those relationships, our reproduction, self-gratification, there should not be a comma in there, sexuality, emotions, nurturing, and this is where some of our, here and our solar plexus, that gut feeling you always get, the next one, that's where a lot of our creativity comes from. So if you're feeling, you know, blocked or you can't get through, normally it's because you have a blockage in one of those areas. So your solar plexus, and that's what I like to tell everyone, any kind of energy work or anything you're doing, that gut feeling you always get. I'm sure we've all had it in here. It either screams at you to walk away or they love it, but you're gonna know. And the solar plexus will bring that to you. Your abdomen, digestive tract, umbilical to rib cage, stomach, middle spine, spleen, liver, your adrenals, small intestines, and your gallbladder also. Like I said, this has everything to do with your personal power, consciousness of being, your accomplishments, your willpower. Ego also comes from here, which is a good and a bad thing. And your vital energy. Your vital energy is so, so important. Now this chakra right here is what connects from our lower grounding to our higher, reaching up to higher levels, our higher self, connecting us to God, universe, and source. And our corresponding parts of the body for the heart chakra, your circulatory system, blood, rib cage, lungs, your diaphragm, esophagus, breast, arms, shoulders, all of this stuff through here. Love, compassion, forgiveness. Your heart chakra and love is the highest vibration that we can feel. Just sending somebody love, good in thoughts, good intentions, raises your vibration and also raises their vibration. It's just, there's a universal life force. I'm sure you all know about that universal life force energy that loves to flow through and to us. And it's never stopping. Now, whether it's blocked and where it goes, that's a different story. But it's really important to know that nothing and none of these chakras, if your root chakra is blocked, nothing can flow up through the rest of the chakras. It makes it really, really difficult. So opening your heart chakra is really that is where I like to have all my clients start. Like I had them, do you guys want to feel, anybody want to feel this heart chakra tuning fork? So you immediately feel a difference in yourself. Just take a deep breath for me.
Yeah, that's exactly, and you're raising your vibration without even knowing it. And honestly, what I think a lot of people, especially my clients, I have to tell them, when they raise their vibration, they get anxiety. So they start putting it to, they're like, oh my gosh, you just literally raised your whole vibration of yourself. So I mean, it's kind of hard though when you feel that to learn to flow with that feeling. So do you want to go? Okay. Do you guys want to feel this before you go, or? Oh, okay, good. Thank you. Have a good day. Do you guys want to feel? Just be ready. Well, it could be. And now you're saying it, you're saying as you just said it. You have what you did, and you stood right there, so you're not feeling like it feels so good. And then that experience for two seconds. So you just feel more, like you know, I just want to. I have time if you guys have time.
here, everybody's feeling it great. She didn't feel it as much, and because she told me she has heart problems. And that's what I was going to tell you guys back. She's blocked there, so she's not gonna feel it like everyone else is, and now she understands why. And it's because she has problems in those areas, so her heart chakra's not gonna flutter and vibrate like everyone else is. So some are gonna feel it and some are not. So I just want you to breathe with me, okay? So think anything? Okay. Are you comfortable? Yes. Okay. Okay. I just need you to breathe, and it's just gonna be a vibration, okay? You started to feel it and then it went away. Keep on going. It's almost hard not to take a deep, relaxing breath, you know? You need to breathe deeper. went away.
Uh-huh.
Yes, it
Yeah.
floors. Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Breathe, mama, breathe. You know better. Now everybody should be all full of love.
Right.
So did everybody kind of feel that vibration then and see how it can immediately just make you feel better? That's the great thing about vibrational healing. And then also what I love about it, these tools are nice. They do great things, but Reiki, have you guys, who's heard of Reiki? So Reiki is a universal life force energy, and I honestly believe deep in my soul that most of us have that power in us. But even just taking your hands, go like this. Now go like this. Do you feel that? Energy. Now put that on your body. Feel it? So that's what I love so much about this energy healing and why it made such a difference in my life, because I can explain it to people, but then I can give you guys tools to help you carry out your lives better. And that's what I love, because this is made for everybody and not just one person. All of our bodies are made like this. And it's just, once we start and understand that, now trust me when I tell you, my weight loss journey, especially after having the miscarriages, I packed the weight back on. I was depressed. I was like, how did that happen to me? You know what I mean? But at some point, I had to flip a switch in my life and be like, it's me or it's not me. And we have to start making choices for ourselves, right? That maybe all the things that we weren't taught growing up were the right things. And we can only give ourselves as much credit for what our parents taught us and what their parents taught us. These are paradigms that carry down generation through generation. That's all that is. We're taught what they knew, they're taught what they knew, and that's it. And when we start to learn about all this stuff and it opens up these things and you're like, wait a minute, I can heal myself with a tuning fork or a sound bowl or Reiki, or I can help my mom. Me starting to help my mom and my family and my dogs really just, I was like, you do stuff for yourself, you're like, oh, that's great, that's good. But then you're like, when you do it for someone else, it makes you feel good. When they start feeling better, when you get them off of medication, when they're losing weight, when your clients are doing things and you see the changes, you're like, this is why I do that, right? Like, the only reason all of us are here, every single one of us have a purpose. We all do. Whether you found it or not, whether you know it or not, we were all put here for a specific reason. And I think this energy system has a lot to do with that, because I always tell my clients, when you start following your passions, chakra systems, sound baths, it all leads to your purposes. You're drawn to those things for a certain reason, is what I tell everyone. So, did you have a question?
I just kind of comment.
Yeah.
So I grew up, my dad's a physician, and so I grew up in a very, take every medicine for anything, wake up in the middle of the night scared, and I'd be like, here's an Ambien. It just, so medicated. And,
Yeah.
And now I have 2 daughters, and it's so neat because we literally do energy blood transfers every night.
Oh, I love that.
And they lay down and I open up the portal of blood on them.
Wow.
And then I just slam it, not their bodies, just slam their blood energy through them. I shake them just times for you. And then I go up again and I put energy in and I slowly come off and I go up their bodies at night. And by the time I'm done, they're just completely oh.
And that's the thing that people don't understand. Dogs and cats, the way they're attracted to that, are dogs catching children because they're not grown up. They don't have all, somebody squashed there. Oh, you can't be that. Let's be something real. Well, what do you mean? You know what I mean? All the out, and that's awesome. You're doing that. That's something your children are always going to remember, and it's something that you're bringing them up different. Nobody does that with their kids. There might be energy healers and stuff now that do more of that, but really people don't do that. And that's going to be a memory that they're going to have forever.
I love it. They'll be if they're stressed, go get in the dirt. We're laying out in the dirt.
See,
I'm regulating them myself.
Can I ask you what switched you from coming and growing up in that lifestyle to going the complete opposite direction?
Well, because I've had every element
my goodness.
Nothing changed, and I'm a recreational therapist, and I started working at the Bridge Recovery Center in the Eastern Base Medicine, and I was like, oh, focus, about that. So that's how I grew up.
Yep.
And
My mom asked me if I was a witch, so don't feel bad.
I'm so skeptical, but I'm not going to yuck anyone's yum.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Absolutely.
And I had a really bad earache at work one day, and one of the Reiki people said, can I do some energy work? I'm like, okay. And I laid down and did something, and all of a sudden I'm like, what are you doing? And it was, he pulled the pain out of my ear and like tossed it in a green flame or something, and I was like, what was that? And it was gone, and I was like, I was the biggest skeptic. Like, my dad didn't even believe in like going to the therapist or anything.
Yeah.
And so after that, I was like, tell me your advice. Like, can you do anything?
Well, I'm glad you opened yourself up to it, because somebody normally who comes from a background like that, it continues with them, with their children, and then that's, and that's why we are where we are today. So I really commend you for stepping out and doing this with your children and showing them there is another way, and yourself for growing up that way and, kind of trying to find a better way. That's amazing, and congratulations.
Oh, great.
Yeah. It really depends on the pet and what I'm working with. So every session I'll take my bowls and my tuning forks, and my Reiki goes everywhere with me, of course. But I'm normally intuitively guided, and the pets will kind of I can read their energy basically and know, hands on, hands off, or a bowl, or when you start doing it long enough, and then nothing is going to hurt them trying everything. And then because they need the bowls, they need the tuning forks as well, and the Reiki. So it really doesn't matter. If any modality that you're doing is raising their vibration and healing them in a certain way anyway, whether it's with a soul or a bowl, a tuning fork, or Reiki, it doesn't matter. It's all universal life force energy that's raising that vibration and healing the animal or the human. And it can come from here, or, so many amazing things. So, all right. So the throat chakra, you guys, that was a big one for me, the throat. I still have my throat chakra. I still put my throat chakra tuning fork on my thyroid every day, just because of my past and because I just want to make sure it's always good. So your neck, vertebrae, esophagus, lungs, nerve, mouth, teeth, gums, and arms all have to do with your throat chakra. The function, speech, hearing, expression of thoughts, your truth, integrity, self-expression, and your creativity, again, all come from your throat chakra. Your third eye, you guys know that one, right? That's the one that really gets us. Everybody's like, well, why can't mine open? Be careful what you ask for. I actually shut mine off about 8 years old. I had a dream that my parents were coming to pick my sister and I up from church camp in a motorhome. And we didn't have a motorhome at the time. We had a camper that sat on the back of my dad's truck, and then we'd pull the boat to the lake, and that's how we went. And lo and behold, the next morning at church camp, my parents came and got me in a new motorhome, and I was like, I dreamt this. I've seen this view, and it freaked me out. So I had a problem opening my third eye up after that. But so your crown chakra. Anybody ever get tingling in their head, top of their head? They're wondering why it's tingling. More than likely, your crown chakra is opening, and it's trying to send you a message. Corresponding parts of the body for this: brain, pineal gland, pituitary gland, nervous system. The function, that is the spiritual connection to Gus that I've been talking about. The transformation of yourself and integration of the whole self and enlightenment. And that's whenever I'm talking about me changing myself from my diet to kicking my pills. I quit eating meat. I quit drinking alcohol. I don't feel that I can be a good channel for healing my clients and other people if I am crammed full of, junky food and booze and things that lower your vibration. So it's just in this journey for me, just things I've chose to do away with. And, that's fine for me. And I think God had a little bit to do with the meat, because I was the biggest meat eater and I got really bad food poisoning. So he was like, basically, you don't eat meat. And I'm like, okay, but I love fried chicken. So healing vibrationally, you guys know meditation is always great for that. You can always go find a closet, 5 minutes, close your mind, get everyone away, close your mind, clear it, and just talk to yourself. Good to yourself. That is the thing. I always have sound baths on my YouTube page. You can always clear your mind with too. But there's things out there that can get you into just clearing your mind. And everybody's always like, I can't, it's too jumpy, it's too this, because you're not letting yourself. We went over the tuning forks. What time is it? This is what I like to call the acupuncture without the needles. And that is what I tell my clients, because it just goes in and then, you know, it gets you. Well, you guys all felt it, right? So that kind of speaks for itself. Reiki, you guys know what that is, and I just love, Reiki to me has been something that not only I can help everyone else and my animals with now, I do it to myself. And if I'm at the gym and I come home and I'm like, oh no, something doesn't feel right, and then I'm like, oh, and now I go grab a tuning fork. You can take care of this yourself. Don't be so weird about it. Like, so it's these things that can keep you moving and keep you growing and keep raising your vibration. If you can keep raising your vibration, those things are going to keep you healthier. Crystals, I love to work with crystals. A lot of times when I have my clients, I have some at the table, I will take a crystal and put it at the end of the tuning fork and correlate it with that chakra. So like with the green, I would take a green aventurine or something and put that here and then put it right on your heart to help the power of the crystal energize with the tuning fork and all of the rest of that. And it does jump it up quite a bit. So, breath work. Thank you. Breath work is a practice. I did that a little earlier in my sound bath today. And that is actually, I like telling people you can clear and reset your energy quickly with a little bit of breath work. And I'm talking just close your eyes, do 10 quick open mouth exhale breaths. So like this. 10 of those. And just reset your whole system and picture all the stagnant bad energy leaving and you just filling it up with new loving energy. That's what I like to do for a quick reset. And like I told you guys earlier, it's more mindset than anything. What you believe and having people putting their limiting beliefs on you has got to stop. What do you think you can do? What do you feel you can do? I never in my life thought I'd be a size 2. And when I was 260 pounds, there's no way. I never thought that. And it's just, you have to set your thermostat. You have to block everyone else out. And what is best for you and what do you want, and start your journey. And that's the only way you're going to get there. Everything is a vibration, everything. Even Mother Earth has her own heartbeat. That's the ground I was telling you guys to ground with. The moon. I do a lot with the moon cycles, new moon baths, full moon sound baths. Full moon sound baths are a great time for releasing energy, things that we don't need to carry around. As human beings, energetic beings, we store energy in our bodies. It's stored there. It doesn't go anywhere until we energetically remove it. We gain weight there. We have problems there. Thyroid, heart issues, because that's where the pains and the problems are. So those are the things that we need to work on. These are just some testimonials. We don't need to read through those. But I just want you guys to know that you have to want better for you. You have to adjust your mental thermostat. You have to change things for you, and nobody's going to come save you. Nobody's going to come. Nobody took that weight off me. Nobody came and said, hey, Shelly, do you want to wear a size 2 dress today? When I was a size 22, So you just have to know that you're not going to change until you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. And then things for you will start changing. I have created a couple programs to help people and pets, because I'm on a mission to help 1 million people and their pets heal naturally. Since I did that, that's just something I feel like I need to share with everyone. And so I've come up with a method to do that, helping people and their pets from a distance and in person, all while having more energy and eliminating self-sabotage. You guys can feel better every single day just by raising your own vibration. So if you want to schedule an energy audit with me, it's where we get on the phone call and talk about where I feel you may be blocked, how we can change that. You can scan that and schedule that now. Here are my social medias. You can follow me on, I do a lot of work on my YouTube and my Facebook page, a lot of sound baths and things of that nature, so you can normally catch those there. And then these two I have on my table up front. I do retreats as well, where especially women can come and we heal wounds and we release things, and it's some of the best weekend of your life, and you go home a changed woman. So if any of you guys are ever interested in hearing any about what I do or how you can keep in contact with me, I would love to be a part of your journey in any way that I can. So thank you guys so much for being here, and I appreciate your time so much. Do you have anybody